All right. Bingo.
And action.
How are things, man?
I'm doing all right, man. I can't complain.
Yeah.
Yeah, life's pretty crazy sometimes, but here we are.
Yeah, I can vouch for that one.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I've just been working part time and got this little studio space together to put more time into that and learn what I need to learn to make music independently.
Honestly, man, I give it to you because a lot of people just slave their lives away, and it's easy. As much as it's difficult in the moment, it's easy to get lost in. And then you wake up one day and you're 50. That's how it happens.
It's a trap. Yeah, I mean that was the job I was at was just I was grinding every day and thinking I was doing the right thing, being like, all right, I'm going to work, I'm employed, like, but then at the end of the day, it's like I don't really have any money and I can't really do anything. I don't have any credit, I don't have anything, and I'm still a piece of shit. So I'm gonna do what I want and take this time to be a better person and offer a service.
Yeah.
It's like just coming out of high school working, not really having an education or anything that puts me ahead of the pack. It's like I could see it with the people I work with, and it's that way. It's easy and it's secure. It's
Yeah.
like every day there'll be work for you, but at what cost, And it's like,
But there was something else there. You say like you see it in everyone else you were working with, but and you say you came out with like no education, but there was something else there that made you realize what was going on.
yeah, it's just I guess it's like our generation can kind of see it. Maybe
Yeah.
it's the internet generation or something where we have more information. We're not sold that image like our parents were of work hard and you'll have a house and you'll do this. It's like it's not really working out like that anymore for everyone. It's like our generation isn't going to own homes and isn't going to be as
Honestly,
prosperous
man.
as the last, because it's like I don't know if it's the population keeps growing and they keep trying to make things
And
cheaper,
jobs are
and like
shrinking.
they're just telling you the same lie of like, yeah, just do this, feed into the system, and it's like,
Yeah, that's a crazy thing to think about. The population is growing fast. Like
yeah,
we
very
gotta be
fast.
8
So it's
billion
like
strong.
it's not the 50s anymore, and you're like, oh yeah, go work at the factory, and it's
Yeah,
like, all right, yeah,
it's
no,
like
I don't know.
technology is taking away all those jobs. So it's like all the factory jobs that I don't know supplied millions with money. It's like that's gone. And who the fuck wants to work those anyway?
Yeah, everything got outsourced, and it's a different world. But it's like, you
Yeah,
could look at the bright side of that too and be like, I guess you can be an independent musician, you could be an artist, you can get your stuff out there in ways you couldn't before. Like
yeah.
Instagram's huge. There's people that are just Instagram celebrities, and it's like
That's
all you
wild.
need, all you need is a camera. You look, you got a nice face on you, and you'll go far. Like you couldn't do that years ago, and it's like even with this studio and this stuff here, it's like it's a lot of money, like everything I put into it, but in the scheme of things, not really. Like
Yeah,
it's super cheap that you can just get a computer that's like pretty nice, $1,000 here, $1,000 there, and that's like what I was working for pretty much. That was the idea in the back of my head. Going to work every day is like, all right, I know this is not my career, but I'm working for something, and now it kind of pays off when you have everything you own in a small room, and you're like, all right, like
yeah.
I
There's
got
pieces
some
here.
nice gear, and it's coming together. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's exciting.
I definitely think a physical location changes everything. Like when it's just all theoretical, you're like, I don't know, it's still floaty. Like maybe I'm not gonna make it, but once you have like a spot, you're like, okay, no, this is real. This is real. I'm doing this. This is somewhere I can be.
Yeah, and a
It's
spot
like,
that's dedicated
yeah,
just to this, and it's like it's not a bedroom, it's not your house where there's other
yeah.
people, and it's like,
It's as
oh, when can I sing? Oh, I don't want to disturb anybody. It's like anytime I can do whatever I want, and that's what I've needed for so long. 'Cause it's like the place I've been living is like never really had my own spot, so it's like it's that's a huge step. So that's just to be able to practice on my own. Like anytime I would practice would be with other people, and that's a huge part of being a musician is practicing on your own and doing
yeah,
that stuff and not pissing people off. And it's like we got a nice little spot up in here, so we'll see what it turns into, and it's cool.
yeah. As much of a headspace as it is like a physical space. I
Yeah,
feel like
exactly. It's like
that
pretty much
far and
I just
wide.
try to leave my problems at the door, and it's like this is a temple. It's like in a temple, and it's like it's my religious space to do, not let anyone else interfere with
Your feng
the
shui.
thoughts and the yeah, exactly. And that's like it's probably not the best way to be productive, but it's like as an artist you're kind of you're very vibey, and it's like, oh, I don't feel like doing that, when it's like it's not like a workout where it's like you're gonna do this many push-ups and this, and it's set, and it's like, oh, what do I feel like doing? And it's like
Yeah.
it's dangerous because you can end up just doing nothing. There's so much to do, and you just like pick at a little bit here and there. It's like, I want to learn a lot of different instruments and stuff and be able to play a little bit of everything on top of like engineering and that whole side of it. And then it's like the business side of music, and it's like, yeah, it's something that is always going to challenge you, and you're always going to have somewhere to go with it. So it's like,
Yeah. I feel like that's with a lot of things. People just struggle with picking something they're truly passionate about and that they can see value in. See value in when they can't see value in anything else. When they can't see value in themselves, they see it in that thing. So they go to it, you know?
I respect that. I respect the people that picked something when they're 18 and they stuck to it and it worked out for them and they're happy with that. Because I I have a hard time committing to anything.
See,
Really,
man,
it's
we're
like,
Sagittarius.
yeah,
That's in us. That's our
it's
thing.
it's just it's a big commitment. And that's like, yeah, I guess
Yeah.
that's why music again is something that's always going to keep challenging me. And like, when can you say you're the best musician? Like, you know,
Yeah.
it's always something else to learn and always something else to do. So yeah, it's a huge challenge, but I'm excited for it. It's actually working towards something that I want to do instead of like a dead end job or something. Like, I don't know, it's just a creative need, and it's hard to explain to people that don't get it. But it's like, I understand. Yeah, I could do something that'd be more prosperous and make more sense and be more secure, and
But
like I
I don't know. It makes
could
sense
go
to
be a
who,
truck
though? That's the
driver
thing,
and
you know?
make $20 an hour off the riff, and but it's like, yeah, there's nothing more valuable than your time and your peace of mind. And it's like, I don't know, it's like you're getting into something that you don't know what will happen with it. You can't see the end of it, and it's unplanned too. And that also brings its own challenges of like, you're trying to be a doctor, read this book, do these courses, you'll be a doctor at the end of it. But this
Yeah.
is like, who the fuck knows what you're getting into? It's like, all right, once you learn the technical aspects of recording music and stuff, then it's like a huge creative thing, and there's really no rules of what you can do.
Yeah. Me as a why I started out, I guess I'll call myself a writer still. But like I thought I was a writer. Like right off the bit. Like I started writing like senior year and I like realized that I was good at it and I like to do it. But the more and more like I look into arts and like understand what I'm doing when I'm writing and like what's happening to my emotions as they're being translated into words and like just what writing can do versus like music, and then like stumbling into music, it's like there's very little translation between like the emotion you feel and the sound you create, you know?
Yeah, it's instant, and
Yeah.
that's like,
It makes
I
it
don't know.
completely
Everyone's got their
unique to
own
like
thing, but
every other
it's like,
thing.
yeah, writing is hard. That's the hardest thing for me, is writing lyrics that make sense. It's like
Yeah.
you come up with a melody real quick, almost instantly, and then it's just like, all right, but what
Well,
are we
where's it
trying
go
to
to
say?
this?
What is the song about? Okay, like, I get it. And that I admire, like, yeah, painters and writers and stuff, where it's like you're painting this picture and you don't know what it is, and you could ruin it at any moment, but you stick through it, and it's a beautiful thing at the end of it. And that's like, I don't know, I feel like music is a lot more instantaneous, especially with a band, and you're like,
Yeah.
all right, that song's pretty much
Pick it
done.
up.
We've just
Yeah.
played it the first time, and it's like, yeah, polish it up, and that's the vibe you're getting from it. And you know
Yeah.
what it's gonna be pretty much.
Yeah, that's interesting. I feel it. Yeah, it's more is happening in less time because it is so fluid. With like writing, there's like structure to it, and I feel like that's where the translation comes through, and it almost gets lost. Your emotion gets lost to logic.
Yeah, of like following the rules and,
Yeah.
and trying to do a proper piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the magic of like a recording studio anyway, is capturing that, like, you're capturing that live performance. And I I don't know, it's that's the hardest part.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like there's not a lot of understanding of music these days, where like you don't really understand that you're ingesting somebody else's emotions. Like you may be in a rut and like kind of, I guess, I don't know, see yourself in that sound, see yourself in that emotion, but then like they're also bringing you like lower with this thing or like in a different direction that you don't even realize they're like leading you with this small thing you like maybe even a phrase, like not even hearing the music but just like feeling it and then hearing a phrase that you connect with. So you're being like led off in this direction that you have no idea where you're going. Like some of these like Billie Eilish songs that you hear, have you heard these?
No, I
Dude,
haven't. It's new stuff.
it's wild to me that people are so like fanatical about it. It's like it's scary music, man. She's got a song called "Bury a Friend," and it's talking about
Really?
like I don't know. The music video just freaks me out in general. She's getting like stabbed in the back with like a bunch of needles by like people like with gloves on their hands, and it's just like
She's been through some shit, huh?
that's just wild, man. It's like, are you connecting with this music? Like, should you be connecting with this music and like following it and like encouraging it, or should you be like asking this person if they need help?
Yeah, I mean,
Back to the Chris Cornell thing.
yeah, oh yeah. He's got some demons. I guess that's kind of
I guess is it more worrisome that so many people connect with it? It's like it's wild.
yeah, I think it's just a shame that like popular music is so limited and it's like really controlled by the industry as far as I don't know. There's so many good songs. Like, why is the radio on loop? Like, why is it
Yeah.
literally the same thing? It's like you don't even need a DJ. It's like, what's the point of that? It's like, oh, because it's free. Like, I don't know. It seems creepy that it's like these are the options. This is music, but it's
Yeah.
like everyone knows there's like tons of other stuff. And it just, I don't know. All I can think is that it's like money based, and it's like this is our artist, and we're promoting them, and that's music. And
Yeah.
it's like all the popular songs. It's like I haven't even tried to listen to them. Like I know them, like Happier, like I want you to be happier. I know that song. I've never tried to listen to it, but it's in my head because it plays fucking everywhere all of the time. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, maybe that's a good song, but like, I don't know. I'm just saying, it's just a shame that it's like everything else can be so free. The internet can free so much stuff, and there's free information. Like college is obsolete because you can just look it up online now. Like, but
Honestly, even like trying to find music that isn't mainstream that people are just making it around you is hard to do.
yeah, especially recorded music. Like
Yeah.
there is a huge like festival scene of like jam bands and like live music.
But I even find that those are kind of limited too.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, I've seen a lot of bands that are pretty much similar to each other and to themselves. I just like exciting stuff. I don't like to like listen to a whole album
Lot
and be
of
like,
cover
all right,
bands."
change the song. Like, I don't know.
Like another Pink Floyd cover band.
Yeah, Grateful Dead. It's like, yeah, they're great, but you're not the Grateful Dead.
Yeah.
So do your own thing, because that's what you're bringing to the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just there's really no excuse to be unoriginal when you start at zero. Like everything, like I don't know. I get people have influences and stuff, but I don't know if people like it, do it. But I don't know. I think more people should be pushing the limits of different types of music and
Yeah.
what's gonna happen next. Is exciting. Like it's been a whole evolution in my mind of like the timeline of popular music, and it's like where's it gonna go next? Like hip hop just came out of nowhere, and now it's like was the biggest thing, and now it's like I don't know, who knows?
Honestly. Harley.
Hear that? Yeah, Harley. A lot of Harleys out today.
He's ripping around. God bless his soul.
Sun
Watch out for the
shining.
sand, guys. There's a lot of sand on the road today.
Yeah, I've seen the street sweepers that come out at night and like vacuum it up.
I was
But
like, where the hell
they
did
only
this
do
stuff
like
come
half
from?
the road at a time. Like they'll do one, and then they'll leave the other side and just like leave a berm. Like you fucking bicyclists.
Yeah, it's interesting. There was I think it was a Vice documentary. It's called like the LSD Mansion. So this
What is
guy
that about?
this guy bought this like missile silo and just like decked it out and
Made
like
it into a house.
and was like making LSD and like selling it out of like the missile silo. But like decked it out, had like crazy rooms, like a room with giant speakers to like just sit in front of and just be like immersed in sound. Like so much so that your ears can't hear it, but you're just feeling it.
You're just tripping balls.
Yeah.
Like
So, like-
turn the subway up.
To take that and then like combine it with like those isolation tanks, like man, that's as deep of a therapy as you're ever gonna get.
Yeah, I've yet to do one of those isolation tanks.
Yeah, me
but
too.
even just sitting in this room with the window with like the shades drawn, and it's like that helps.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of things are like brighter than they need to be, and like a lot of places are like lit up. Like going to Walmart and it's like, "Boo." It's
Yeah.
like I don't need to see that much. Like even at night, like I can pretty much drive with my headlights off. Like
Yeah.
sometimes you're like forget and you're like, oh, like I can see fine. I don't know. Maybe it's not everybody, but I got decent night vision.
Yeah.
Just like things calm. And I got these like green light bulbs, very calming. That's like a writer thing. Like the old like accountants and stuff would have like a green visor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just like I guess it's like less harsh on your eyes. And like
Interesting.
looking at a white piece of paper and you're looking at that all day, it hurts your eyes.
Interesting.
But,
That's really cool.
yeah. And then it's cool on this computer too. It has like a night shift thing, so
Oh, where
it's
it
like a
yellows
blue
it?
blocker. Yeah. And then I just keep it on all the time. I'm like, you turn it off and you're like, oh god,
Yeah.
why? I don't need that. You can see it. I can see well enough.
Yeah, I feel like there's a new horizon coming with like therapy, cuz I feel like it's deeper than anyone really even understands. Like everything is. Everything is. You can never truly know. So we're like obviously still discovering what a human body is and like where we came from before a human body. It's like if you believe in I don't know, an afterlife or like a reincarnation, it's like your soul carries karma. So you're feeling energy and like feeling this you represent a sound, a vibration that you've carried for a long time and you've gathered and changed. But like we're coming upon a point where we're able to like kind of soothe those things and change the song that's being sung here and control the song as a whole with like I don't know some sort of music therapy as far as like I mean mushrooms are becoming legal.
Yeah,
So like
that's gonna change the world right there. That's gonna change people's consciousness. Like, I think everybody should be able to do mushrooms, and I stand by it.
yeah you like you take that you take like the isolation tanks you take like some just soothing music someone trying to just soothe your soul not trying to like change your mind or get you to
Get
buy
you to
something
buy some Pepsi or
Yeah.
something.
just trying to like
Subconsciously.
soothe everything and then like you set that person free like I don't know do it maybe once a month everyone's prescribed it once a month that's a better world man altogether
Yeah, and it's like I don't see why like the top men aren't on top of like this mushroom thing. It's like really there's like hippies leading the forefront of like the most powerful substance we know. Like let's like what's happened to marijuana since it's been like medicalized is like they can make it for anything. They can prescribe it for different problems and it's
Yeah.
like they've got down to the science of it and they've got different strains and stuff and it's like, "Oh, you're just going to let mushrooms like slip through the cracks?" It's like, "Dude, that could be some serious medicine if it's used correctly." Like
yeah
anytime I've done mushrooms, I've had no fucking idea what I'm doing.
Yeah, you don't know what
Sometimes
you're
you
getting,
take too
man.
much. Sometimes things get a little weird, but it's like if you could have control over the strain of what you're getting in the dosage and it's like, "Oh, this is like a micro dose or this is like, oh, you need a little heavier dose and you're just not going to drive a car today."
Yeah.
And that's like the rules, like
All right.
obviously.
But get this. I think there's a beauty to not knowing what you're getting. I really do. I think there's a beauty that people really kind of just sweep under the carpet. I think there's like a lot of fear to it. And I think we're steadily moving away from it, but it's something we need to recognize still. Like, my brother has been looking for mushrooms. And I'm like, those things are strange. Psychedelics are a lucid thing. They'll find you if you ask for them. So just ask for them. Consciously ask for them right now. Don't even mind me here. Ask for them out loud. So this is like when we're in Florida. We get back, we see mushrooms growing in the mulch in front of his house, and I kid you not, they're a psilocybin-based mushroom.
No way.
They're a psilocybin-based mushroom.
Yeah. And that too, it's like so dodgy to even like you're always just told like don't eat any mushrooms because they could fucking kill you and it's like okay like I'm just gonna take some mushrooms from this random hippie and what like
Yeah.
I don't know, it could
They
be
look
regulated
cool.
a little bit or at least have information about it, but I think it's just like pretty mysterious that it's so like taboo in our culture when it's like such a powerful thing and it's like why what
But this is something we need to understand too. It's not that everything else around us is unconscious. Those mushrooms are conscious. Like everyone's acting up with yeast problems and that's a bacteria. So like for some reason we're being like unable to deal with certain like funguses and bacterias. But then like these mushrooms, which I honestly believe rule the world. I honestly believe they have more control of this thing than we do.
They're more animal than plant and that is creepy. They talk to each other like under the ground.
But
Like,
so do plants, so that's the
yeah,
crazy thing.
it's
They're
like
the
a
third
whole
party.
network. It's underground, so we never think about it.
Yeah.
But it's like
We're closer
Yeah,
to plant,
they
or
interact
just as
with like
close
the
as
pine
plant.
trees and everything in the forest, and they know if there's like a forest fire on one end of the forest, like the mushrooms know at the other end. Like,
Yeah.
I, and it's weird when you take them. It's like you feel like a presence almost of like, I don't know if that's just in your head of like that's more you, or
I don't know,
that's why
man.
we need to get the top men on this stuff.
But it's not even like who are the top men? That's the
I don't
question.
know, and that's what I feel like.
Like
It's like
I would
a
say you're the top
it's
man.
like a 1950s like thing in my head of like the people that made like the atomic bombs and stuff, and we're like, we're America, we have all the information, like we got doing the secret service,
Well,
CIA, acid tests, like the guys that know shit. But now it's like, who the fuck? Donald Trump is the fucking top guy. Like, fuck, what happened? What are we doing? Like, I don't know.
well, that's the thing though. Like, have you heard of Paul Stamets?
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah,
that's the top guy. That's the top guy.
yeah.
That's the top motherfucker. And he goes on the Joe Rogan podcast and he can't say something about like portobello mushrooms because it threatens his life.
Yeah, it's probably a huge racket, dude. I'd imagine if
Like,
he's like, these
okay,
are like terrible for you.
button mushrooms. Button mushrooms. Oh my god.
Oh God.
Mike's falling. Button mushrooms, baby bellas, portobellos are all the same mushroom. We're always eating
Really?
the same mushroom. What's up with that? And if you don't cook them all the way, he said, it's like it almost acts as a neurotoxin and erodes you slowly.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's that too. It's like, why are they so mysterious? And it's like, yeah, you can eat one kind of them when really, who knows what they do? And dude, that mushroom powder, you ever have Sacred Seven?
Yeah.
Dude, that does something to you like beyond caffeine. You know, it's like a clarity, and it's like it. I don't know if that can do that.
Honestly, the more I think about it, it's like I want to be in control of myself. I want to have the freedom of my own self-control. So much so that I want to rid myself from money. So it's like I eat things that I get from the grocery store and I feel terrible. And like the more and more like I sit down and think about like what just happened after I like ate these and like I'm feeling this thing and like I could just go out in the woods and find something to eat. I really could.
Yeah, if you know what you're doing, and it's weird.
You
I
find
think,
a
but
simple
that's
book,
like
you know?
that's the whole system we're living in. Is like you gotta have the money to go to the store, and then it's like the store is closed. What do you do? Like, I don't know. It's did we do it to ourselves to like domesticate ourselves so much that like we're useless like outside of the society? Or
Honestly, man, I think war is a tool. I think war is a tool to make people like depend upon their government and trust it more. It's like, oh, the government won this war and protected you from this other power that was gonna ruin your lives, enslave you,
yeah,
and
they
like,
always have to have a bad guy or like
yeah.
something to keep you in line.
You know,
And
we've been at war for like, fuck, 20
there's
years
only
now.
there's only been like a 15-year period in American history that we've not been at war. Check me on that, but it's something ridiculous
Honestly,
like
man.
that.
Like they just deployed a bunch of troops
And
to
what was
somewhere in
all
the
right,
Middle
all right.
East yesterday.
Let's just what is the irony of a war on terror? So there's terrorists,
Dude,
and you're gonna go to war against like what?
it's on oil. We're
What?
fighting. It was openly like said like, okay, like this oil tanker was like attacked and we're going to war for it. Like we sent 1,500 people over there yesterday.
Really? Oh, well, in Iran? Are they like?
Yeah.
I don't even keep up with it because it's like always somewhere in the Middle East.
Yeah.
Oh, we're out of Afghanistan now. We're in Iraq, and it's like I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
A
At
lot
some
of people
point,
are dying. Happy Memorial Day. Like
at some point,
great.
you just gotta separate yourself from it because it's more harm than good.
I think it is like a lot of just like nonsense to keep you like I don't know any mainstream news though. It's like oh some
It's
cop
mass sacrifice
some
to
cop
keep
is
you
killing a
involved.
black kid, and it's like oh this why does this story keep coming up? Like what message are they trying to send? Like do not resist or we'll kill you and get away with it. Like
Yeah.
what like I don't know. The whole news machine is pretty creepy, and it's like yeah you really should just think for yourself and take everything with a grain of salt because I don't know why would anybody else know better than me?
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy world we're living in.
Honestly, man, I think everyone is really realizing it too. It's weird. I think collectively we're moving towards a state of independence where we want to be independent and we don't want somebody to wipe our ass for us. We really don't. We don't see like I guess some people probably really like it.
Yeah,
Like
it's not so bad. Little warm water.
yeah.
Try
Maybe
it.
it's like a dominance thing, but it's like on the other hand, like the other person's doing it to you, so you're being dominated. I don't know.
I'm
Weird
not into
twisted
it.
shit.
Yeah, but we're definitely just living in like an old world, like this was set up by whatever our forefathers and our actual fathers and all those people, and it's like we're doing the best we can now, and now it's like 20 years later it's like, okay, now that's way off the mark,
Yeah.
so it's like we need to keep moving, but it's like we're just like clinging to like a security. People love that security of this, of how things are working, but it's like so like hollowed out, like what's the economy? Like it's never going to fail. They're pulling all the tricks, like the American dollar will always be like, that's the last thing, when the
Yeah.
world is all burnt out and we cut down every tree, it's like the American dollar, we pulled this calculation and we saved it and you guys are fine, and it's like a very weird thing that they're just playing with, and it's like
I think that's the main rope that ties people to feeling like they need the government. I really do, because it's like, okay, if you get your food from the nature around you, and like, I don't know, you need food and a place to live, man. That's it. And then everything else is a bonus.
yeah.
So it's like, once you get down like how to find your own food, then like you're separated from a job. You don't have to work like a job to get money. Like maybe you need money for a house because like for some reason you're paid taxes to uphold.
That's it though. It's like they need to keep that tax revenue coming in because that's what the system is built on, and
Yeah.
that's like, I don't know. After World War II, they had like super high taxes for the rich. It was like 90% taxes after like $1 million,
Wow.
and that's what built this country. That's what built the highways. That's what built all these huge projects. And I don't know. Somewhere along the lines it changed, and now it's like we just need you to. We need you to be an asset to us. You're an American. You're an asset to us. Like you're gonna pay us out. Like you're gonna do your thing, and you're gonna make money, and we're gonna call upon you to take some of that because we need that. And it's like, well, like where's the receipts here? You
Yeah.
know, like what are we spending it on? Like
A bigger
I don't
military.
know. Like yeah,
You
and it's
know?
very strange, and it's like who.
Are we selling all these things that we're making? Like I don't
Like,
see them being stored.
it
in
almost
Connecticut.
feels like someone is like pulling the strings and like someone is in charge, but it's like, is it, dude? Can it be? Or is it just like a bunch of random people like segmented in their lives, and then it's like this guy dies and this guy gets reelected and this guy like, so it's
Honestly,
like, is it just a fucking circus?
it seems like it has to be something like somebody's like, all right, this is this actor, he's gonna play this part. Like I hate to say it, but like Donald Trump, everyone, that's a leader. You're gonna
I don't know.
You're gonna be in
They wanted
elementary
him.
school and be like, you know what? That's the captain of the football team, or that's gonna be my leader. Like we're playing like, I don't know, tag, and like that's your captain. He gets
That's
like
such a weird concept of
superpower.
like being a leader. Like I don't know, where does that.
He gets to
It's
hold the
too
torch.
big. It's too big of a thing for there to be like one.
There's millions of people here.
leader,
There's,
right?
there's
And it's
millions
like,
of people here.
How, and then it feels like that
How
it
can he
just
be a
goes
voice
back
for all
and
of them?
forth, and it's like a system where it's supposed to be fair and be like, all right, no one can be the president for too long, so 4 years, and maybe if something's going on and you can get reelected for a second term, but then it just like it undermined itself and it just goes back and forth, and it's like we're not making progress,
All right, get this. So what if the president can only serve 4 terms because it's just too much of him catching so much shit because he's going to be wrong. He's always going to be wrong. He's always going to catch shit. So it's like it's detrimental to somebody's health if he catches so much shit for so long. He's got so much pressure on him. They'll just eventually snap.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's not
probably.
necessarily like, oh, he can't have that much power for too long.
Yeah.
It's
It's like this guy's gonna lose his shit and
Yeah.
be in control of all of you.
It's like, all right, you're going to be the punching bag while we do this still.
For real though, it's like the most stressful job I could imagine. I mean, Trump seems to be chilling, but
Well, that's the thing. It just
you
seems
play
like
a lot of golf and
he's
go to
u-
meetings.
he's
but
used to being just like a solid douche.
I don't know, dude. You got to just have a different like life view when you've just had money your whole life and had that. Like that's what keeps me going, is not having anything and being like, dude, you're so fucked if you don't like do something. So it's like it keeps me busy and it keeps me like wanting to learn and to do that. But like from
Yeah.
day one, like you're set, dude. Don't worry about it. You can fuck off and do whatever you want, and we got your back. And it's like that's got to be a totally different mentality.
Yeah, like
So-
nothing matters. Like nothing to anyone
nothing
else matters.
really
Like,
matters
yeah.
when you have like billions of dollars or whatever, when you can like have enough money to run for president, and that pretty much avoids you of being like a common person, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
Just because he wanted to, too.
yeah, because he was like had a chip on his shoulder or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we're all being fed this like elaborate almost soap opera type
It is, and it's
theme.
like, why do the same issues keep coming up? Like, why is abortion an issue again? Like, I thought we figured that
Yeah,
out, and then it's
right.
like, why is gay marriage like an issue again? Like,
I
what?
think
I thought this was like, I thought we were like, oh, wait, let me check the book. Oh, we're Americans and we can do whatever the fuck we want. Like,
yeah,
I thought that was
land
the
of the
rule. I
free.
thought that was like it, and it's like, I don't know. I don't know, and I feel like there's a lot of good people getting like caught up in it, and they like think they're doing the right thing, like
Dude,
posting their Facebook post, but it's like,
and
I don't know how to actually change things, you know?
think of how quickly it happened that we went from the home of like the free in the land or the land of the free, home of the brave.
Get it right.
To, like, yeah,
Get it right or get
like,
out.
you lived in a house that was built before America was America.
Yeah, dude, it was like 1756.
Just think of
And
that.
it was like, yo, we're not paying taxes on this bitch. This is a pre-American house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's grandfathered in. But like, think of that. Like, how many lifetimes away was freedom actually freedom, and like people rode by horseback, and like your word meant something. Like your honesty was your value. And any drunkard who was just spewing out bullshit was like, all right, sweep you to the curb. You don't mean shit.
Yeah, there's no filter, and it's like, it's just like a humanitarian issue where it's like, okay, everybody needs to be represented, and everyone should have a voice, but it's like, should they? Like,
Yeah.
it's like,
A lot of people just
but then
speak
it's
in
like, what's
spite.
the test? It's like, do you do like an IQ test, or like, what's fair? It's not ever going to be fair. And then it's like really weird when you're like controlling so many people. It gets real like Hitlery when you're like, oh, well,
I guess
you don't have the right to vote because you're fucking stupid. And it's like, well,
I guess that's where
I
the
don't know. He
statesmen
pays
come
his
in.
taxes. Like, let him vote. But like, I don't know. It's, I don't know. And are people thinking about these problems to try to like make them better, or is it just like we're just sticking to this rigid system, and
Yeah.
it's like now they're just a bunch of lawyers that know all the rules and are like, oh well, we can pull this loophole and that's not illegal, but it's like, it's fucking asinine, you know? It's like, what is going on?
I guess that's where the statesmen come in, though. It's like you elect these guys, and then they choose to vote for you. It's like you could do whatever you want. You could vote Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
Like I know a bunch of people who vote Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, the right in, man.
Like, so these guys are gonna vote for you no matter what, and it's like these people have been bought out. We know it.
Yeah, and that's a weird thing that like everybody knows it, but we're still just like, oh, I can't believe this happened, and it's like,
Going
it's
from
just
the
weird that
ground up,
people are.
man.
It's just like people are just too trapped in their own like personal lives to like have time for anything else, unless you're like a career politician, and then you're a fucking
Who
crook
knows what
anyway.
All right, this happened a while ago, but there was, I think, a senator who got caught like using a glory hole in a airport bathroom.
always, always some weird scandal, right?
Apparently, it was a famous glory hole.
Wha-
It was
how
like
do you get a famous glory hole?
I don't know. Like it was super well
Good
known.
service. Check the Yelp on that. Very clean.
But like, what? You're gonna notice a senator going there and be like, "Oh, it's our
How
senator."
did they identify him? He was like walking out, and they're like,
Probably,
oh,
like-
shit. I've
like,
seen
what's
that dick
going in
before.
Yeah, they called him Wide Stance, something Wide Stance. I forget his name.
Oh, okay.
His nickname.
Yeah.
But it's like-
people are weird.
But it's even, I guess, it's weirder that it's like, okay, yeah, the senator who takes bribe money is cool to be a senator if he's taking bribe money, but if he takes a dick
Yeah.
in an airport bathroom
It's like,
un-
whoa.
under the cover of a stall,
yeah, that's
then
what
he's
I mean.
weird.
Yeah, it's like Bill Clinton. It's like, oh, you're outraged about the blowjob. Like, okay, let's look into what else this guy's been doing. It's like, oh, go
He's
bomb
like,
a
"No, no, no,
hospital.
I'll-
He's
I'll
like,
leave-
nah,
I'll
that's
leave this
fine.
out."
That's politics, but
I'll surrender at the blowjob.
I think it's just, I think it's gonna get to a point where like the sex scandal is gonna be a useless card
Yeah.
in the future. People are like, yeah, whatever. Like, you know,
honestly though,
with like the whole transvestite movement or whatever, it's like,
LGBTQ.
yeah, people,
Yeah.
it's less rigid than it's ever been. So it's like gonna just be like, yeah, I do some weird shit too. I fucking whatever.
But like,
Can't hold it against me if you do it.
but honestly, like, how do you judge character in a day and age like this? I guess if like somebody's open about it, they're like, yeah, I'm a furry and I'm proud, but I want to be your president.
Yeah,
They're like,
they
you know
can't
what?
run on that though.
You got balls, man. You just came out to be a furry. First words,
yeah,
I'm listening to you.
Yeah.
You're honest.
And it's weird just how fake it is, but it's still like perceived as that. It's like, oh, you need like a good speaker, and you need to be a Christian, and you need to be a family man, and be this person, and that's my
Yeah.
president. And it's like, very weird. That's just an old system yet again. Like,
I don't know.
I just hope someone's working to improve it, but
I think it's out of our hands completely. Like there was this
it's a wildfire. Yeah.
well, I think this whole thing is like on a galactic universal kind of everything type of scale, like we're all in cycles. And like I've been looking into like the flower life pattern like to grow it and to see like where it goes and like how it grows and like what the pieces represent. Like it's super interesting because then you can like see how something like complexifies and then like decomplexifies and then like continues to grow into this larger thing as it does it. It's like you can either choose to be like this three-dimensional flat surface of always going outward and never having an end, or you can see that it continues to grow and connects and almost like bubbles and creates a larger, more in-depth picture. So it's like it's not even, I guess it's a tool to represent like all pattern, but more so it's a tool to grow and expand your perceptive consciousness.
Well.
Yeah, man. That's old like Plato teachings, like Socrates teachings. That's what they were teaching.
Yeah, dude, it's just weird that it's like everything feels so out of control and it's like nobody knows anything. Like we're all just kind of like, but it's like there's no like wisdom that's been passed down. Like nobody's figured it out better than me. Like really?
All right, and let's be honest. I'm thinking about it today. I'm sitting there doing a yard sale and I'm looking up at a bird feeder and there's birds coming around. I'm like, there's no fucking way that was a dinosaur. There's no way. If something catastrophic happened and like a bunch were wiped out, that's one thing. But like there's still gonna be other ones that live.
Too. That's what they say too. That's like, oh, all of them were extinct.
How
but
did they
then,
grow
like,
feathers?
An alligator is like related to the dinosaur, and they're billions of years old or
Yeah.
something. It's like,
And you see a Komodo dragon, you're like, okay, that's a dinosaur. But
yeah, it's like turtles and all that shit, dude. Like,
I don't know.
they're different. Yeah, I don't know.
And it's even weirder. Like, I know I'm going into uncharted waters here. I'm kind of like taking a stab in the dark, but like, I went to the Smithsonian, and I don't think those were fucking bones.
You think they're fakes?
Honestly,
It's a
man,
hoax?
they looked like
What
casts.
I heard was, like, when they first started discovering dinosaur bones and stuff, like all the museums were in competition to get the biggest dinosaurs. So they're all looking for the biggest shit, and they like neglected all the baby dinosaurs and all the little ones. They're like, whatever, like, well, no, like we're gonna have like
It's
the
a
biggest
business.
T-Rex here in our museum. So like a lot of stuff was just like swept under the rug, or I don't know. They don't. That's why there's only like giant ass dinosaurs in a lot of these museums. Is they were just going for the big
Just-
sideshow thrill of
Yeah.
like, yeah, see how awesome this is. But
Just fishy stuff, man. Like, okay, let's just say there's dinosaurs. It doesn't make it any more clear, like knowing that they walked alongside humans and like humans survived that asteroid and like we didn't really evolve with them. They turned into birds somehow, and
yeah,
we
so
didn't.
like what? Some of them turned into birds and alligators, and then like humans evolved after that.
No. There's upright like Homo sapiens walking alongside them. There's like
Really?
they like
Oh yeah,
unearthed-
I guess like humanoid, like
who knows
whatever
though?
we evolved.
Who knows?
From.
Who knows how long we've been in this like this humanoid Homo sapien form? You know. I guess
And
humanoid's
then like,
wrong.
what are
word.
we evolving into? Like, our lifestyle has changed so much since the last whatever billion years. It's like whatever we're doing now is definitely like affecting us as a species.
Yeah, man, we're
And
mostly
it's-
water.
and it's like worrisome because it's like a lot of the stuff we do is not like a natural progression, I guess, because of I don't know, but that's what we're good at, right? It's like technology and stuff, and it's like, do we hit the peak of that with like?
But that's what we've been told. That's the weird thing.
I mean, I guess I can't run very fast, and I'm not like, can't fly. So it's like, I guess like our brain is our thing. We like walk upright to like protect your brain and like see like the horizon. Like I don't know. I guess you can like look at stuff like that and kind of see like what are we made for? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. We're very
We're
soft,
just super
soft
different.
and squishy.
We're
And
super different.
yeah, dude, we're aliens, dude. This planet would probably be in perfect harmony without us, like
Yeah.
forever.
It
And
only
then
makes
it's like
sense.
we're just like aliens and we don't care about anything. If we're not already infiltrated by aliens, it seems like we are.
Like, holy
because
fuck,
it's
we are
like,
the alien.
dude. We could be, because it's like whatever this force is, like, doesn't give a fuck about this planet, dude. Like,
Honestly,
how
man.
can you cut down the rainforest for money? Like, how can you keep burning fossil fuels? And it's like, dude, we're checking the levels, and they're pretty high levels. Like, for this projection is not looking good, and
But
like we're just still doing the same thing. It's like, who's making that call to be like, oh, well, we're making a lot of money, so it's like,
that's the weird
what
thing,
the
though.
fuck? That's like, that seems like it's more than about money. It's like,
Yeah. It's almost like, on the other hand, there's people that are justifying it, like, oh no no no, like we checked like the ice caps. We like drilled down. We checked them. Like everything that we're doing right now is normal. Like everything, all these levels are normal compared to like these, like over history. Like we can go back like 100,000 years and like see the levels and like we're on track. But it's like, I don't know, man. You can't tell me that this has happened before. That
I
we've
don't know,
like
dude.
sucked all this oil out and burnt it.
If you can't run your car in your garage with the door closed, like, should we be fucking burning that shit when there's like an atmosphere? And it's like, since the
Yeah.
first engine was invented, they've been running. There's a car running all the time since it's been invented. Like,
That's wild,
think
man.
about that. When you go home and park your car in your garage, like there's someone in China just starting their day, like,
That's so wild.
and it's like, I don't know, like, how much money can that be making to, I don't know.
And like, what really is oil? Like we're told that it's like the biodecay and like almost fossilization of like these things. So
It's
it's
like
like,
energy.
is that the fuel to this earth that we're siphoning? Is that the like true
That,
like
I mean, it's like,
blood to this earth?
I mean, I guess
Are
it's
we
like you
vampiring
have
this
energy
shit?
in you, right? Like the sun gives you energy. The sun gives plants energy, and it's like stored in them. Like a piece of wood is like burnt, and that's like the stored energy of the sun being released. So
Holy
it's like,
shit, man!
right? So
So
it's
like,
like layers of that shit. Like there's got to be a fuckload of oil, and that's probably the biggest thing is
that's
if you
crazy.
can get a gallon of gas for cheaper than a gallon of milk, it's like, okay, that's as expensive as it's getting. It's like they must be making a fuckload of money off it if they can sell it for that cheap. And
but like, let's think of this. Every year, new leaves fall. Like every year, things come out of the ground, out of the earth, out of the soil in particular, grow up, and then decay on top of it. So it's always like
yeah,
filtering up from
it's
the
like
bottom and layering on
miles of
top.
like,
So it's always like an implosion of this earth.
yeah,
That's
and then
like creating.
the roots pull it back up and then like make new leaves. And
Okay, so then like with that in mind, further down the line in like the implosion and like the recycling of this earth, it's like it's oil. So like down the line there's oil, and maybe that's the fuel to this earth. And maybe like it just needs to keep on going until it gets to the core, and that's what's fueling this body that exists and that like keeps us warm. Maybe it's a cell, and like who knows if like the planets around us had life on them before, and we've only like just become the last victim to this like vampirism.
that is weird. It's weird to think about the core of the earth too, that there's just like a big lava ball in the center of it. And it's like, sometimes it just leaks out and there's volcanoes and it's like, whoops.
This thing's
like,
alive, man.
dude, it's fucking weird. And like the crust is like spinning on that, and like, I don't know, man.
That's
There's like shit you learn in elementary school, and you're just like, yeah, all right. And then it's like, you gotta kind of take a step back and be like, wait, what? What the fuck? Like, I was watching that thunderstorm the other night. I'm like, wait, that's just like static electricity, but like fucking giant. Like,
hotter
that's
than the sun.
insane, dude.
Hotter than the sun.
That's insane. And it's just, I don't know. I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff like that that you just like take for granted, and you're like, oh yeah, obviously that's how it works. But it's like when you really just like take a
That's
second
something
look, you're like,
speaking,
wait,
man.
what?
Yeah.
Science.
I think like almost to just like name it science kind of like takes away from it in some aspect, because it's like that's an expression of the earth. That's a cycle of the earth expressing itself. Like we try to change it and like mold it and like try to like, I don't know, mess with the weather, mess with like the oceans, and try to like tamper with everything to like make it seem better than it actually is. But this thing is speaking. It's an animal that we're riding on, and it is fucking bucking, man.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's a struggle to survive on this planet. Like
I-
there'll be some life here if it's us or not. Like there's such a diversity of life on this planet that it's like something will survive in any condition. Something will thrive, and it's like,
But that's the thing, though. Like, we're tampering with the core of the earth at this point. So, like, who the fuck knows what's gonna happen?
yeah, and who's making those calls to like the atom smasher? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how that stuff works at all, but like, I don't know. You ought not be meddling.
Honestly.
Like I don't know. You shouldn't be splitting atoms and like
And just so happened, like,
Ugh.
a rat gets in there and chews it up. Like, you can't tell me that's not like the universe saying, like, don't fuck with this.
Wait, that was the story
The
of that,
rat chewed a wire and it fucked it.
and
They
it just
couldn't do it.
killed it.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it was like a 500-mile ring underground, and they were like blasting like
Atoms and
ions at
yeah.
each other or whatever, like partial atom. I don't know.
It's just
Whatever the pieces are.
it's wild to me
Protons.
how just I guess blatantly ignorant we've all accepted ourselves to be. Like of all these things, like I don't know. No one's really asking questions. And this guy came up to me at the at our tag sale today and he's like trying to like I don't know. He's an old guy, so he was bullshitting me.
Yeah,
So
a lot of time to talk.
yeah. So he's like, all right, I bet you can't say or count to 20 in 30 seconds. I'm like, all right, bet. He's like, I'll put $1 down on it. I'm like, sweet, man. I'm like, all right, you're wearing a watch. Let's see your watch.
Yeah.
Wait until it gets to 12. So like, as soon as I start counting, he's like, but you have to count in Roman numerals. Like,
What?
what? Like, no. He's like, no, you don't ask the questions here. I'm the teacher. I'm like, listen to what you just said.
Wait, how do you count in Roman numerals out
Exactly,
loud?
exactly. Well, like, besides the point is like I'm the teacher. You don't ask questions. It's like no. A question is a student's tool. We're all students here. If there's like this higher power that we're all working towards, that's human, then we should all be questioning the fuck out of it because it knows more than us. You know?
Yeah, I don't know, man. You'd like to believe that someone's in control and there is some order here and like things happen for a reason, but it kind of just seems like it is just a wildfire and it's like everyone like you can't even control your own shit. How are you going to control the world? Like, everyone's
Yeah.
all fucked up and like depressed and anxious and it's like no one even knows themselves. So how can you lead this? How dare you lead another person when you can't even like control yourself?
Yeah.
And that's why it's like a
Well, I mean,
ridiculous thing.
all the more reason to ask a question, you know? Like you should always be asking questions about yourself, like what you're feeling, like what's going on around you, like how is somebody else's emotions affecting your emotions, and like we're all connected. That's where this like flower of life pattern comes in. It's like it's a bunch of circles, a bunch of like loops, a bunch of patterns within patterns. So like say the human body is a representative of one circle. Like are you familiar with the flower of life?
Yeah. Yeah.
So like all those connected is like say like me and you connected like a mouse connected to us somehow like all on this plane, but then like the earth is the greater overall like circle. So like that pattern moves out and almost gets three-dimensional and connects together in like a three-dimensional flower of life.
Wow.
So then like
an energy field around the earth almost.
yeah, so it's like it's the net, it's the true internet. When we work on that extranet, outer net, you know?
It's like a synthetic copy of it. It's like you can send an email wirelessly to the other side of the world, or there's like telepathy that's like
that's a true thing.
you ever hear about that? Like twins like have telepathy, and it's like
Dude, I've experienced it. With that situation on the beach at Old Orchard with me and Devin.
oh yeah,
Like something happened that was wild in like emotions, personality traits got mished and meshed, like transferred through like all of us. It was crazy. Like walking away from it and like I was messed up, man. I had to refigure out who the fuck I was after that.
so what exactly happened?
So me and Devin met these twin girls on the beach in Old Orchard, and then like we both like I don't know stumbled across them like at the like at night and like I don't know spent the night on the beach with them, but like separately. Like we split up, and like one girl was like more logical, so it was like more like me, and then like Devin was with the girl that was more emotional, which was more like him. So like me being a writer and him being a musician,
You're
it was
like drawn to each other.
yeah, and it was
That
like
is weird.
we were like talking about like how'd you like pick which one to go with, and I was like I don't know, it happened. But then like the moon was intense, and like the more time like I spent with this girl, the more I realized like the line between us thinned out to nothing. And I don't know if it was like her like twin bubble trying to reach her sister or what, and like me being open to it, but like I would ask a question and immediately I would see the answer within her.
Wow.
It was
Just being like on the same level as someone.
yeah. So like our souls intermingled and traded like emotions, feelings, like existence, and then like separated at the end of the night, and it was just like shooken up when we were there for like 4 more days, and I just had to sit back and kind of like piece together what happened.
Wow.
Like that's the level of thing that goes on here. It's like this world is magic. Like your body and mind is perfect the way it is. No technology can do what you can already do. It's like we're trying to
And
externalize all
that's
these
what's weird too.
features.
It's like nobody knows about this shit. Like someone has to know something, and it's like withheld information of like the user guide of like you're a human, like
Yeah.
this is what you're good at and this is what you do, and like here's the maintenance, like, but it's like, oh, we don't fucking know, and I guess everyone's just fucked up and sorry. Oh, but just have to take a pill for it, like you'll be fine. And it's like very strange.
Honestly, here's the thought. Like we're obviously completely different from everything on this planet, and there's like ancient stories of like alien beings coming down and breeding with humans to make like a hybrid humanoid, like almost they call them almost reptilian. But what if that like purebred, like whatever mated with us is still present, but like it mated with us, so we're able to like be the in between them and like be influenced by them, but also influence the earth. So we're almost like the plug.
We're like a player on
We're
this
like,
plane.
yeah, we're the bridge between like them and them, so they can like get us to act, and then thus like affect this earth, and then like siphon the energy, whatever their grand plan is. Like I don't know.
Yeah, it seems like something bigger is going on than just live your life and then you do you and then you can retire one day and have kids and do whatever. It's like there's got to be a greater purpose
Mm.
to like what is going on here. We're just experiencing it. We're just like a speck in this whole giant picture, and it's just weird to not have any like guidance as far as what the fuck is going on here, and everyone's just like, I don't know. It's just very weird. For how
Yeah.
smart we are, we do some stupid things like, I don't know. We can't just take care of each other and like I don't know, but like everyone's got a different headspace and everyone's has a different like different reality, like everyone experiences different things and they're like brought up a different way and have different experiences. So it's like I live my life like this because I've been through that, and you live your life like that because you went through this or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know, it's just hard to like get people on the same page, but I feel like that's probably our strength. If like we could all connect with that like same telepathy and just like know each other, but it's like a sense that's been lost almost. And
But
that's why it's like magical when you can like find that with someone and it's like just in sync like naturally without even like trying.
but I guess that's where this like teaching of like the flower of life and all these like sacred geometry things like open you up to it. It expands your consciousness to like understand these things logically, and then allow yourself to feel them emotionally, you know? It's like, okay, this thing exists, and like the heart is a tool that I don't very much use, you know? It's like that's the gateway to it all. But for some reason we just overthink it and like try to deny ourselves the feeling of what's really going on, or like just drink it away, or like have another cigarette or
Yeah,
something
dude,
like
I think
that.
that's it. It's just like, I mean, me anyway, is like I sometimes like to drink because it's like, yeah, there's like too much going on, and it's like you just want to just be a little stupider for a little bit and fucking laugh at some stupid shit. Like,
Yeah.
it's like there's too much computing power for like what's going on in my life to be like, I don't know. I feel like it would be applied better, but it's like, oh, you're just a normal dude. Like, sorry, like,
Yeah.
it's like, fuck, dude. Like, yeah, I want to use my skills and use what I'm good at to help people and like do something, but it's like hard to find your place, I guess. So it's like I
Yeah.
see how people fall into that trap of just like
Balance.
numbing themselves and being like,
You
well,
know,
at least I get to be drunk on Friday. Like, this week sucked, and I just fucking put my head in the ground for fucking 5 days, and now I'm gonna drink and fucking sit sit on my
forget
couch.
about my life for a
Yeah,
little bit.
fucking watch my big ass TV inside, and it's like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a creepy thing though to like sell your time like that and just be like, oh, 30 years. Like, when are you gonna retire? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Got
Unless you're
this
really
car
doing
payment for
something
two
that you
years,
love,
3 years.
yeah, it's weird. It's weird to just section your time out and be like 8 hours today. Like, no matter what, like your calendar's already filled up. Like,
Yeah.
nothing outside of that. And I've noticed like just even working part time, it's like you have so much more freedom of like, I don't know. It's just like it's good to just you know you don't always work at like that pace, and it's like sometimes like you need time. You need a little more
Yeah.
time to like come into yourself and like I don't know, spread your wings and be
A human
an
being.
effective person. But
Yeah.
it's like I don't know, a lot of people are like blindsided and just get like into a trap of someone else set this up for me, so okay, I guess I could just go here and get a paycheck and I'll survive.
Yeah.
And then it's like you see everyone around you and it's like the competition and you're like, well, what are you gonna do? Like,
Be
you're
different.
fucked.
Yeah.
Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, it's almost like people are asking you to be different, but then when you are, they're like, no, not in that way. It's like, you're not fit for this job. Your difference is not what we're looking for. And then it's like, okay, then I'll just be the same. And it's like, okay, you have a better chance. You're a safer bet for us.
Yeah, it's weird. I think it's a very human thing to be like totally different. Like
Yeah.
we are like pack animals, and it's like you can't judge people like apples to apples because it's like you're good at that, I'm good at this. Like who knows like how those skills are gonna like benefit the community or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like weird. Like the whole schooling system is like exactly that. It's like, oh, this kid is different, so that's bad. When it's like maybe not. Like, what do you want to do? Like, like that's
Yeah.
what keeps us going. It was that caveman that like stepped out of the cave and like discovered fire or whatever instead of staying. Like that. That's the oddball that keeps us going. So I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's a lot to think about.
I guess to bring it down from all this, it's like, you know what makes you happy, man. You really do. Everyone does. And it's like, you can separate joy from happiness. They're two different things. Joy's short lived. Joy's a cigarette. You know? Joy is like a quick beat off in the closet on like your lunch break or something wild like
On the
that.
clock.
But like happiness is something that sticks around. Something that you know you can come back to. A space like this.
Yeah,
No.
like something solid that's like,
Something that you trust in even when you don't trust yourself. Something you see value in even
yeah,
when
just your gut feeling. And that's
Yeah.
like how I feel about music. And it's like, I know it's a stupid thing to do to just like go try to be a musician, like, but I'm not doing it for money.
Yeah.
It's like my soul, you got to put your soul in the right place. And that's it.
Man, what a loop we just went.
Yeah, I mean, it's been an interesting conversation for sure. Cover a lot of ground.
That was great. Oh god, the
Yeah, I didn't
microphone.
really know where we are gonna go. Just like, all
That's
right.
that's the fun thing about this thing. It's like you're literally in a pod and you just take off and then you wind up
Yeah.
coming back around. It's like a roller coaster.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a good platform. I see why it's so popular because it's like, I don't know, I haven't thought about anything but just like listening to you and like looking at you with the headphones on, and it's like I'm not hearing anything
Yeah.
else.
Especially in this room. Love it.
Yeah, pretty dead room. I'll put up some acoustic treatments. Gonna have some more.
The scarf is doing wonders.
It's a nice scarf.
Honestly, it's like a snowman scarf.
It's real Scottish wool. It's
All
warm.
right. So I saw a man wearing a dress on the way here, and it wasn't a kilt. He was walking with his daughter, and he was on the larger side, burly, looked like he did landscaping for a living. So I'm not trying to assume any of his preferences, but I guess that just says how great it is to live in this time where you can do something like that and let your balls flow in the breeze, my friend.
That's what I mean. Like, I feel like that's what America's about. It's like, dude, do whatever the fuck you want, man. Like, they would kill you in another country for that, and fuck
Yeah.
them. Like, do what you fucking want, dude.
It's like people are gonna like whisper behind your back, but you can do it.
yeah,
Like just
exactly,
it.
man. And that's like, it seems like a simple underlying oath maybe we should live by instead of like referring back to all these ancient documents or like whatever, the Constitution or whatever we're doing here. And just, yeah, I think it's more simple than people are making it. And that's why it's hard to believe that these are like the adults and like the people that are running the world are just like so ridiculous. And it's like,
Yeah, it's a weird
what,
word,
like
man.
what, like why are you wasting my time to put this fucking article up about like some controversial topic that's like, whoa, this is already covered. Like, you can do whatever the fuck you want, right?
Yeah, that's wild. And it's just like, do the people in the states like that these things are being passed in, like in the countries that these are being passed in, like even realize that they even like come up to be voted on?
Yeah, I don't think so, because it's like I don't know about anything that's going on with Connecticut.
Yeah.
Like, what, they're gonna
Is
put toll
pot legal
booths in
yet?
again? Like, yeah, I don't know. They're doing stupid shit. It's like, dude, I I don't know. It just like it should be like centralized, and like everybody's like, all right, we're looking at everything. This is how the money's being spent, so this makes sense. Not like, oh, we're poking over here and we're giving a little money here to look good, and we're doing this, and it's like there should kind of be like one leader, but then it's like you can't do that because
Yeah.
history will show. I don't know. It's hard question to answer. Um, I don't know. I don't know.
I think that should always be the answer. Like,
Yeah, just be honest, man.
yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know, guy.
Like, what are you gonna do about this? Like,
I don't know.
I'm gonna do this, this, and this. We're gonna get this guy on board. We're gonna go to this
Yeah,
country.
yeah.
It's like
It's all bullshit.
you have no idea. You're not gonna remember what you said. Like, you're gonna have to go back on the CNN like footage.
Yeah,
like,
and
they don't
it's
save
like
those.
they got you on video, and
Yeah.
now you're flip flopping. So
I don't know.
strange times.
Honestly, I think natural law is the way to go. I really do.
Well,
Like, I think
it will prevail.
I think people will stand up for people, and I think people will, I guess, stand up for what's wrong or stand against what's wrong, like morally, and like if people didn't have to bust their ass working a bunch of jobs and like stress over like all these little things and like all these, I guess, worry if their leash is tight enough or like all these different things, it's like they're gonna fix the roads. No one wants a shitty road.
Yeah, and it's just a weird system where it's like you put like the most powerful people like have all the money, so it's like I don't trust that you're like noble enough to be like I'm gonna do the right thing and be like
Yeah.
this is what should be done. It's like you're a coward too, you know. It's like you don't want to be out here with us, do you?
Yeah.
Like it's fucking rough out here, dude. And then it's like, yeah. So I don't think anyone's ever gonna just like step down and be like, all right, like I'm not gonna take that bribe and I'm gonna do the right thing. It's like I don't know. People can lie, and that's a powerful tool. The truth is a powerful tool,
Yeah.
and just the fact that I just have to take what you're saying as the truth, it's like,
But I feel like everyone can tell. It's like that guy's lying through his teeth.
yeah, but then they still get elected. And
Yeah.
it's like,
I think it just blends in. I think that's where the truth gets lost. It's like when everyone's lying, you're like, wait, this person, and then like when some random person comes along, it's just truthful. You're like, wait, that guy's weird. Why isn't he handing me half lies?
yeah, it's like they're too real, and they're like,
Yeah.
oh, this guy's crazy.
Yeah.
Like Bernie Sanders wants to break up the big banks. It's crazy. Like, I don't know.
Like, even Bernie, it's like, fuck, man, I don't trust that guy either.
Dude, any of these people, like, I don't know. How are you supposed to trust anybody with the shit that's happened? Like,
Yeah, how can you put all your faith into one person? It's like, look in your general vicinity of people. It's like, do you know anyone you've ever met that you could be like, you know what? I would put all my faith in that person's pocket.
yeah, dude, I don't.
I don't.
I think like a leader's maybe like as a human thing, maybe just like a small group, maybe even like a family, and it's like, oh, the father is the leader of these four people, like, and that's they can barely even do that. So it's like, I don't know.
A wise man once said to me, a true leader has no intention to be.
Exactly though, and that's why it's like a business to these people that are like, yeah, oh, I can pull this bullshit, and it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. There's no recourse. There's no like owning up to it. It's like people can just wreak havoc on this country and just be fine, be better off than us for like trying to do something, you know?
Yeah, I feel like I've always felt like art is the answer. It's like the artists are gonna want to make this place beautiful. It's like they make poop, and you can make a sculpture out of poop if you bake it.
Yeah, you have a shitty city and you put up a couple murals, it starts looking a little nicer, you
Yeah.
know? It's like it's powerful.
But then like everyone's like, oh no, I'm not an artist. It's like, no, yeah, you are. Art is creation, my friend.
Yeah, anything you do, construction or like
But they're taking it away from us. Like with all these microwave meals, it's like you're not even making your own food, man. Like when they start taking away
'Cause you
the
don't got time, man.
yeah, when they start
You
taking away
sold
like
all your time.
the basic forms of creation, you're like, what do you do? You lose meaning to all this.
Yeah, that's why there's like apathy and like people just give up because it's like it's easy to give up because like why even try? Because like someone's done it before, someone's doing it better than you, someone can do it cheaper than you. Like why even give a fuck? Why not just do fucking heroin and hang out on the couch all day? Like
Yeah,
it's not the worst fucking life, right? Like you wonder why you have all these problems and it's like when you've made life meaningless for people, like no wonder they
what
don't
else are
they
they
don't
gonna
like
do?
find value in themselves when they're like you tell them
Yeah,
their shit, you know? It's like, "Oh, you want this job to live? Well, you're not good enough for that, so you're a poor person." Like,
yeah. And it's like Instagram. I mean, you can say it's a great thing, but it's like you're gonna go on there and you're gonna see everyone doing the greatest things always. So it's like, fuck, it's really gonna put you
yeah, it's
in
no
your
one having a
place.
shitty day like,
Yeah,
not doing good today, guys."
yeah. It's like everyone making the craziest art, like the best musicians, like the best artists doing like the wildest things, like the most complex things, and then like you look at your own creation, you're like, ah, I'll never amount to anything. When it's like the point isn't to amount to anything, but to just do it, just because it's a release that you need.
Yeah, it's like a subconscious release, like any art form really is like
Yeah,
it's just not thinking, just play the thing and it's
yeah,
like, "Oh, okay. That's nice."
yeah,
For some reason, I like that. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's like a duality. It's like AI too. It's like people are like, "Oh, AI is gonna be the devil," and it's like it could be, or we could like use it for good. It's the same as you, right? It's like
yeah.
it's what's your intention with that? Like we could,
Have you watched Rick and Morty?
yeah, yeah.
The one where the car battery dies, Rick's spaceship battery dies, and then they're like, "Fuck! All right, we got to go inside of this thing." They go inside of
Oh,
it.
and
It's
it's
a
like a
universe,
universe in there,
and then
and
they
they're
go
all serving
inside
it.
of like the other universe that's within that one because like they've just like kind of pushed off the power source to another universe. So they're just like creating universes to
So
like
they're just
power
like
this.
slave universes
Yeah,
that are just
like
yeah.
infinite slave universes.
Wow. Yeah, that show's pretty good, man. I mean, they cover some deep topics in a cartoon. Like,
And it's just like two alcoholics,
yeah.
pretty much.
Oh, the guys that make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that they do the voiceover first and then do the animation to it, which is like the opposite of most animation techniques.
And Rick and Morty are the same person, man. How weird is that?
What?
Yeah. Yeah. Have you heard of like one of their arguments, like long arguments?
No way. So it's like the childhood version of him, and he grows up in.
That's
Pretty
crazy.
trippy, man.
Well, I mean, in like real life, like the voice actor.
Oh,
Like, how do you do
oh,
that?
oh. I see what you're saying. Yeah, you're like having a
But honestly,
conversation
though,
with yourself.
honestly, it may be.
Well, no, when they come out with the next season.
Yeah. That's wild, man. He enslaves himself as a child because he knows what. What?
Dude, that's a cool concept though. That he's just like, oh, this happened here. Fuck this universe. Like I'm on to the
Yeah.
next. Like, oh,
We
killed-
only got a handful of these, Morty.
Yeah, we killed him. All right, we're just fucking. We'll just live in another universe, and that's fine. Like things are normal again. Like,
But I just think the fact that that guy like speaks to himself as two different
You, like, write the
characters
dialogue?
fluidly
Yeah.
is insane. How do you even do that? Do you go word for word or like
or do you
what?
do like one part and then
Yeah.
like come in like another voice and like a different character, or like,
That's crazy.
yeah, I don't know. It's definitely a weird process for how they make that show. I think that's why it takes so long for them to like come out with new episodes. But
That's wild.
it's a
man.
trip. That's cool though. That's like art too, you know.
Yeah.
It's like art imitates life, and there covers some deep stuff in there that's true that you might not take at face value of just watching a cartoon, but
Yeah. And I think like the best type of art is art like and like yeah, all art imitates life, but like the best art is the art that you're not even realizing you're creating when you create it, like you said. And then like you go back and look at it and you're like, "Oh fuck, that's what I said, that's what I played, that's what I made." Like that's what was happening this when I was doing this? Like that's the thing? What? Like I had no intention. Who was it? Ah, it was the guy who made. Oh, I forget his name. Do you know what is it called? the comic book. It's a movie too. The Watchmen.
No, is that like a
It's
Marvel?
yeah,
Yeah.
but he made that and he made it like a Batman. But he said that the truest form of creation, the truest form of expression, the truest form of existence is existence, creation, without the intention of the outcome. With no
Exactly,
intention of
dude.
the outcome.
That's like what the best musicians say. It's like, like I was saying before, it's like there's so much to focus on. There's like you can focus on the marketing and all that, but it's like just make the product. Just
Yeah.
make the music and the rest of that shit will fall into place. If your music sucks, like nobody's going to buy it. Like
Yeah.
you can market it all you want. And it's like whatever, but like if you have something that's real art, people will flock to it and be like, "Oh yeah,
Like
I feel that.
Yeah.
That's real. That's genuine. That's not like someone trying to make a hit. They're like, oh, we're in this hit factory. Like, let's make another hit and like follow the formula. And it's like fake. And it's like, I don't know.
And
I think, I don't know. With music anyway, there's definitely like a draw for something very real. It's been very dehumanized in like,
yeah.
well, popular music anyway, as far as like dubstep and like auto tune. It's like you're taking the humanity out. Like what's
Those
the
are
last
computer
song?
noises.
What's the last song that had like a guitar solo in it or like any like
Right?
it's like all just digital and it's like yep, drop it into a grid, quantize the beat, like it's all done. Like it's too easy and that's like it's crap if it's too easy to do it. It's like
Yeah.
if something's hard to do then
And it's weird to realize when because artists are definitely enslaved by contract. Like everyone has to see that.
oh yeah, like
But there's like different enslavement. So it's like enslavement where it's like, okay, we're writing your lyrics, you're being ghostwritten and you're singing it. Or it's like, okay, we're going to have all these things happen around your life to make you feel things in a certain direction to milk you.
oh shit, I never even thought about that.
Yeah, man. Like
to get a more genuine response if we
what's her
kill
name?
his wife.
Ariana Grande, like a bunch of shitty things happened around that girl.
Really?
Like Mac Miller, her ex-boyfriend, killed himself.
Yeah.
Like she breaks up with her her husband.
Like the next album is gonna be fucking fire.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, and then like two hits came out, but like who's gonna remember those songs? They're hits in the moment because it's Ariana Grande, a beautiful singer, perfect singer, like a very emotional girl, like singing these things. So anything she makes is gonna be a hit. And then like somebody like bombs one of her concerts. It's like you can't tell me that like these things aren't like placed to like she's making a lot of money.
It is super creepy, dude. Like,
And her record label's like, oh yeah, she wants to make the music that she wants to make, we'll let her do it. But it's like, no.
you're pulling the strings.
No.
I don't know, dude. It's creepy, man. Like when you get to that like star level, and it's like Chris Cornell. Like we were watching that like last like acoustic thing that he did, and it was
Yeah.
just like, obviously he's like a tortured dude. Like all of his work is like very like dark and like edgy. Somebody hurt that guy.
Yeah.
So, but even beyond that, it's like I don't know, just someone that can be so successful, and then it's like you just like hang yourself. It's like what? Like that
Is fame a good thing?
I don't know, dude. I think it's like everybody wants a piece of you as soon as like you're something, and people
It's
like
like
latch
being
to
thrown
that
at
light,
seagulls.
and it's like they just like wring it out of them. It was like I don't know.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
But even like the quote unquote like independent artists, like somebody who has their own label, like say Macklemore, it's like, what are you doing making music with Lil Uzi Vert?
Yeah,
It's like
it's just for money at this point, right? It's like
you
people do
sold
that.
out,
It's like
man.
features, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah. Like Macklemore was good before he got mainstream. Like
Yeah.
we saw him.
And then
like
he made that last album where it's like he went out into the woods and like made a bunch of music and then came back and it's like there's one of them that's like him getting a Grammy and he's like just explaining the whole situation. It's like what the fuck are we doing here? And then he just disappeared, almost like got sucked into this thing. Honestly, man, I think MK Ultra is still going on.
dude, well, let's put it this way: like music is a cultural thing, and that's like they've seen it like sweep the youth, and it, like in anything like rock and roll, like
Yeah.
back in the 50s, yet again, like like they're like, oh, we can't have that. Like the hippie movement of like, oh, people are gonna drop acid and listen to music, and like this is changing the world. Like so,
that,
someone would like
overnight.
grab it, like hip hop, like change the whole culture, like gangster rap, like
Yeah.
change the whole culture, and it's like that's powerful. So if I was someone that wanted to control people, like get control of the music, and you can control a lot of the culture.
You're already controlling the drugs and what drugs are going out in the streets, so then control the music. That's
Yeah, and just oh yeah, let's rap about prescription drugs. Like that's
And
fine.
yeah, start taking them and then
You
listening
can't say
to it.
shit on the radio, but you can like talk about doing Percocet, and that's fucking fine. Like
Yeah.
I don't know how that's okay.
When your song is literally like
Molly Percocet.
Molly, yeah,
It's like
Percocet.
great.
Molly,
This is a
it's like,
great role model for the
yeah.
kids. Like you kind of have
But
some responsibility.
at what point, like, where are the parents? Like, honestly,
They're working.
honestly though, like,
They're fucking pilled up too.
like I'm sitting in front of like this younger kid, and he's like playing music in front of his dad, and it's just like I know that they're mumble rapping, but your son knows what they're saying. Do you know what they're saying?
Yeah, just
It's
like
like he's singing it. He's singing along with them.
and then it's like the same thing of like a spell or something where it's like,
Yeah.
all right, these things are repeated on the airwaves like constantly, and it's like
When you have a
it's
song stuck in your
chant, and
head,
it's like, yeah,
you're feeling that over and over again. You know, it's almost detrimental when you're like, fuck, I can't create anything because the same thing's in my head. Where it's like, okay, this weird, funky, kind of like demonic sound of Billie Eilish is in my head telling me to kill a friend. I'm uncomfortable, you know?
dude, it's really weird. Like, all right, it was actually Devin showed me this. It was I think it's All the Single Ladies by Beyonce, but it's like without the vocals. It's like such a weird song.
Yeah.
Like if you just listen to it, it's like weird, like hypnotic. It like doesn't sound like a beat. It's like it sounds like some weird like mind programming shit.
Oh, that's
I'm like,
interesting.
dude, that is something fucking weird. Like that's not like a hit song that you're like, oh, that's a song. It's like her voice goes over and it sounds like a pop song, but it's like weird, like vibey, like I don't know.
That's
I'd
interesting.
recommend looking it up.
That's, we'll definitely look up. What's her name? She did a cover of Sublime's "Doing Time" recently.
Lana Del Rey.
Yeah, I want to listen to that again, like with that in mind, because there's something
Is there
to
like
that.
weird frequencies and shit
think
like
so.
triggering your brain?
I really do think so because that it took out all the soul from it, and it's just her singing it softly to you, almost like a
Hypnotic,
lullaby.
like
So like you're just like eating this thing, when it's like, why do people listen to all these songs? Like they shouldn't be. Like it's not really good. It's all the same stuff over and over again. You think you'd get bored. You get bored doing the same cashier job. So like you would think you'd get bored doing the same like
yeah.
dull ass music.
And then I don't know. Just think
It's
about like
science.
the good feeling you get from listening to music of like those vibrations like passing through you, like being at a concert like next to the subwoofer, and it's
Yeah.
like it sounds fucking it shakes your whole body. So it's like that's a powerful like the vibrations going through your body. So it's like maybe you should be conscious of what you're listening to because like you might not know the effect. Like
Yeah, man.
the same thing. The food you eat is like oh it looks like food, but like McDonald's is like what is that?
Crazy stuff. Like you gotta remember, you're water. Like we're all made of water mostly. So it's like anything that happens to water happens to you. The vibrations affect it immensely. Like you start playing like music in front of like a water, and like the animals inside of it are gonna freak the fuck out. Like it's not the natural tone.
Yeah, it's all vibrations, dude.
Yeah.
Like
So it's gonna affect everything. Like everything feels, and vibrations are feelings. Fuck, light is vibration, color is vibration.
whoa.
You can't escape it.
Yeah, so I feel like even just messing around with music, it's like you don't even know what you're playing with. It's like you're playing with fire, and it's like, oh, we don't want to send that message, so we're putting you at the bottom of the pile. Like you're not one of our
Shit,
artists,
man.
so
So like, you can only make a sound that you've heard before, right? You can only like delve into a frequency that you found, right? So then, what if this large hadron collider was meant for sound and to make music? What if that's what they were looking for?
that
Oh.
fucking satanic tone to just like
Who
put under
knows,
the next
man?
pop record.
Who knows what sound it makes? Like who knows?
It's an unnatural occurrence
Because they
so
recorded it, and they recorded it in vibrational tone because there's no other way to record it.
Yeah,
What in the world is going on here?
I don't know. So back to like the flower of life. So that is like maybe like a vibrational field that like holds everything together, that like holds the matter of you together in this vibration. That's why there's like the golden ratio and all these patterns are seen in nature, and it's like a vibe like that dude that put like a plate on a speaker and put sand over it and plays different frequencies and it goes into patterns. It's like that's what's us. That's what's keeping us together in outer space is like some fucking vibration from who knows what.
To rip it.
I don't know. Yeah, so to like denature like these natural cells is like I don't know, dude. It can't be good.
No way,
To split an
man.
atom and then it like blows the fuck up is like why does that happen?
So I'm not even sure if I want to talk about this on here because I know.
They're gonna hear it.
Well, I know it's something interesting and I know it's something special. I know somebody might have already come across it, but I know it's something. Fuck it, I'm gonna say it. It's already out there, man. The more these people that are hearing it now are the only ones that will like really, I guess. I don't know, man. Whoever is like on top of this all has already
They already know more
this
than us
idea.
anyway,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. But so like it is all energy. The flower of life represents energy in existence. So to find where energy is able to be harnessed most, and you find it in the pieces that connect because it merges with another piece. So the point is that it proves that it's malleable. And at that point where they connect
Like
is
the
where they're most
crossroad?
malleable. Yes.
So you can divert it to do like
It's where the energy becomes free and then attached again. So it's where there's the most change. So where there's change and like the most change, I guess, then there's the most like free and obtainable energy.
yeah, so it's like open and it's like expected to go transverse to this next
Yeah.
loop, but
But you can kind of divert it in that path.
if you catch it right there,
Yeah.
it'll change the destiny of everything.
But I guess in the way that it's being used, I guess to go back to the internet and external net, it's like to use it on your own internal net. It's like, are we able to bend water? Are we able to harmonize with the earth and with like fire and air?
And that's why I feel like some shit is being withheld.
Honestly, man.
Like the ancient Egyptians had like some crazy like I don't know, like superhuman stories and stuff, but it's like I don't know how do you prove that?
Hercules?
Are you looking at like hieroglyphics on the wall and you're like, "Oh yeah, that means this," and like our Yale experts know that means that, but it's like, dude, what type of shit were they getting into back then? Like
Honestly,
what
man.
did they understand or like what was their belief?
And
I don't know.
it's the more you eat, like me going vegan, like opened me up to the truth of food.
Dude, yeah, food is drugs, man. Food is medicine. Like
Food, like
it affects your brain, dude. Like
so I was looking at that idea of like, okay, where things intersect and like how to find where they intersect in an applicable way. And I was thinking of it as like, okay, one of those circles in the flower of life is representative of the body, and the body is representative like on scale to the earth. So like within the body, there's all these like intertwined things. So like on the earth, we're all connected too. So where it intertwines is the ingestion of the earth, is what you're eating, is then like the energy that fuels the cell that exists, and then thus ripples outward. So if you, I guess, hone your diet into a high compact energy fashion, then like who knows what you're capable of on a cellular scale.
being like superhuman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I don't know. Like what's your potential because we've been like eating garbage our whole lives and like breathing poison air and like
Yeah.
going I don't know. We're definitely morphed in a way that is not optimal.
Like I found out what hunger feels like and like what true hunger feels like.
In America?
Well, exactly, man. Exactly.
It's McDonald's right down the road.
That's the crazy thing. It's like they don't want you to feel hungry because they don't want you to understand
so
what
many
food
options.
is. They don't want you to understand what food is. So like when I'm hungry, I just don't have energy. I just don't. Like say my energy is a circular pool when those circular pools out of ground pools and like everyone like it's the water's spinning in like a cyclone like a circle. But like when I'm hungry it slows down and I can't keep up. But when I'm fueled and I'm fueled with the right food, that thing is spinning and I could be calm, but almost like water collected, ready to like to crash, splash, like mold, morph, push. It's like the right food can like
Yeah, it's like a hint of
unleash
like
this
being
thing.
like superhuman.
Yeah.
I get that too. It's like, yeah, you eat right and you feel good and you exercise and it's like, yeah,
S-
sometimes your brain is like right where it should be, and then like some days you feel like shit and you can't do anything, and it's like, are you just like a rag doll at the whim of like you don't know how anything works, and it's like it
Honestly,
can be
man,
traced back to, yeah, probably what you eat, and there's a lot of bad options out there.
I think juices are the way of the future. I really do. I think it's the key. I think it's the key to a higher frame of thinking and like a higher energy, higher consciousness. Because we've definitely went through a shift. Like I've noticed colors are sharper, man. Colors are brighter, like all around me. And it's not because I'm on my phone, so it's like it's a difference from me going from my phone to like the outdoors. I barely use my phone. It's
Yeah,
so
it's
hard
just
to get a
like
hold of
probably
me.
vitamins in your brain. It's good for you, dude.
I
Like,
don't even know if it's that. I think it's like it's something on a consciousness scale, like a greater consciousness scale. I think something like clicked. We turned over like a horizon, and it's like a broader thing. Like the hour hand went all the way around and clicked over and went on the next hour, which is a completely different hour. But it's like it's changed. So like after that click, it's like okay, like something happened. Maybe gradually, and like I'm just noticing now because I'm focusing on it more now. But like colors are bright. Like the leaves on the trees, I've never seen color like that.
so you're saying it's like in reality has changed, or just like for you?
Who knows, man? I don't know if
I
there's a
guess you can't
difference
tell yet.
because there's no reality without a perceiver.
Yeah,
So like the contrast between colors of me like looking at at a body of water, like say one part of a reservoir to like the bottom half, it's like I can tell the difference very easily.
well, yeah, I've heard like certain people have like different eyesight. Like there's artists that can like see colors that other people, like most people, can't see, and that's why they're good at what they do, because it's like a vibrant thing, or like
Yeah,
people that appreciate nature like have that and they can like see it when it's like, oh, that's just a tree, like who cares, but it's like, no, like look at that fucking thing.
yeah.
Like that's amazing.
But I think I don't know because it's a fluctuating thing because it's something I noticed now. It's not something that's like, well, I guess I've always had like an appreciation for like nature and I've tried to like find the finer beauty in
But it's
things.
like
But
you're more tuned into
yeah,
like,
it's like now I can feel it without consciously trying to. It's like it's just blatant. It's like okay, yeah, it's there, and like if I look at it, it's like it's even more wild. But it's almost like a next level of wilderness to like simple things like a leaf or a flower, and I'm noticing flowers growing around me in an area that I lived my entire life that I've never noticed before, and that like other people around me haven't noticed either. It's like things are changing in weird ways. We're connected to this thing more than ever.
yeah, like as far as you try to like tie things down, it's like it's always moving and we're always evolving, and like the universe is expanding as we
Yeah.
speak. So it's hard to like, I don't know, I guess it's just your perception of like a lifetime, and you're like, oh, I guess things haven't changed that much. But that too is like, what's your perception of a lifetime is like history. Like Abraham Lincoln lived from this to this, and that was his life, and these are his accomplishments. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, I have a life, so what am I going to do with mine? But it's like, you never been this far before, so who the fuck knows what happens?
Honestly.
Crazy. It's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah. Just trying to like catch my thought again.
Yeah, dude. We're getting deep.
Oh, it's a good one too. It'll come back for sure. If not, it's okay. Whatever.
Some things are better left unsaid.
Who knows? Okay, there it is. Big go. So it's like Mason. Mason said to me, he's like, if you're good with the big guy upstairs, like if you're good with God, then like you don't have anything to worry about. And I was like, it's always kind of like stuck in the back of my mind, like you're right. Like if your intentions are true, then whatever you're true to will resonate with you and like I don't know, provide for you in ways that you can't understand. Like whether it's like something demonic, like what we were talking about before this podcast, or like something true, something I guess morally correct benevolent. So I'm thinking about it in like whether you lie to yourself or not, your intention is your intention, and the truth of your resonance is there, and whatever
Yeah,
it like
that's truth.
resonates with,
Just
it resonates with. So like confront yourself down to like the point and understand what you're resonating with, because there's no riding the line, man. There's a whole lot of gray area you think, but there's no riding the line. There's a clear separation. You're either two nuts on one side or two nuts on the other.
well put. Yeah, I mean, that is like an underlying theme of humanity is like the power of free will. And it's like, what do you do with it? You know? And then it's like, you don't understand the full thing. It's like, all right, just be nice to people. I don't know why. Maybe it
Yeah.
won't help me at all, but like, that's the least you can do. And then, like, on the opposite end of like people that are greedy and like rip people off, and it's like, all right, you got it now, but like what is that doing for you? Like
Yeah.
what is that doing for your vibration or like your presence on this earth, you know?
I guess me personally, I think I look to balance, like in every scenario, like whether it's small scale, like my family, or like me with Hannah. It's like I'm trying to balance the situation, like to regain like a steady flow from like this something interjects into it, like something's brought up, and then our emotion just go wild, wild for a couple minutes, and then I'm like, oh no, 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 like let's calm down, like let's feel this thing and try to grasp it, not grasp it, just to like to cope with it in any way. So I guess on a larger scale, it's like you're either trying to create balance or you're trying to disrupt the balance to try to get into somebody else's spot that's already like being
Deep.
held.
Wow. Going
Yin
more
and
on that.
yang.
Going more on that.
Well, I mean,
So like what do you mean? Like in a problem or something that would come up, you would like not go with your instinct to like freak out and just
well, I mean, I feel like you can't help but to, but I think there's just something subconsciously in me that knows that nothing good can come from like a riled up fight. I feel like when you let loose completely, that's when like physical confrontation comes like at the end of the rope. But like you're just gonna start yelling and like people are gonna start like
yeah, like
swearing and not
nothing. Yeah,
not
you're
trying
not
to
going to
explain an emotion. It's
solve a
just
problem.
yeah. So to like to try to balance yourself, once you balance yourself, you're able to like balance another person because you yourself are balanced with the line. So like you've balanced
Yeah,
yourself.
if you're both fucked up, then it's never gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
But
just gonna be.
but it starts with you. So like to balance yourself and keep your bearing, then like the other person will follow suit in like the law of duality. So then like on a larger scale, it's like if one's balanced, the other will be balanced.
Yeah, like evens itself out
Yeah.
with.
But I guess it's more difficult because you're a perceiver of one. So to like to try to fluctuate the balance of a planet is a difficult thing. But once you get everyone else on board with like realizing that there's an imbalance, then more people are conscious of when that imbalance is showing itself, so they can kind of work
React
with
to
it.
it
Yeah,
more appropriately.
yeah. And it's not even necessarily like I don't know, like you closing yourself off. It's just like no, explain yourself. Like if you're yelling, like I'm not gonna hear you. It's just gonna fluster me. Like your noises make me upset because you're yelling.
Yeah,
It's not a nice
simple as
noise.
that.
Like just
Because
talk.
you're louder doesn't mean you're right.
Yeah.
Wow, man. Yeah, a lot to learn, a lot to do.
I think that's the cool thing about music though. It's like all this that we're talking about is like represented in it. Like to find the balance. It's like when I find that I truly trust an artist is when they can bring me into this weird kind of dissident, kind of like weird eerie feeling, and then slowly slide me back into this like beautiful euphoria. It's like okay, like I trusted you with my emotional feeling. Like you brought me into that weird deep like discomfort, and you brought me back into this peace. You
Yeah,
know?
of like the ride of like an album of
Yeah.
like where are they taking you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
you
even
can
just
totally.
like even a single song, you know? It's like you made me feel like distressed and you made me like tense up and like oh what's gonna happen, and then you
Yeah,
bring
then
me
there's the
back into the
relief
nice.
of yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, man, there's a lot of things that are like similar, can be like compared. Like art is a good one, like cooking is art.
Yeah.
Like you can paint a picture and be like, I like this, or I wrote this song. Like, I like this. Do you like this? You have ears. Like, you like food? Like, I like food. I have a tongue. Like,
Yeah.
this tastes good to me. Like, you want that? Like, so yeah, I guess like you were saying, like pretty like everyone's an artist, I think, right?
Yeah. But it's really weird because I don't think there's a single guitar song that I can't find value in. There's not a single instrumental song that I can't find value in. But there's songs that are created electronically that I'm like, I have no taste for that. You know? It's like, okay, I could see and relate to like the artistic process of this, but with something that's like beep boop bop doop doop.
It just yeah, like synthesizers and stuff where it's like you hit that one key and it's like going out like it's like how much control do you have over that? It's
Yeah.
like if I wanted to go I want to be hitting it like 16th notes crazy fast.
Yeah.
Like I want to have that feel on it. So it's like yeah, I think it's just a shame that's like people will not like. I don't want the art form to be lost. Of like, oh, people used to play instruments. Like that's so obsolete. But it's like it's all done on the computer now. Obviously,
Yeah.
this AI just wrote a better song than you ever will. So like, why, they found the perfect formula or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sort of like a Orwellian like future of what will become
I guess
like the music.
that's the wild thing. Like at concerts, it's like who's compromised their own soul for money, so they've kind of like I don't know, are putting out this music, kind of like what Kurt Cobain supposedly like killed himself over. Like people were just buying into his music and listening to it because he was Kurt Cobain. It's like didn't matter what he put out. He could have been farting into a microphone, and everyone's
Yeah.
like, "This is good."
Like this guy is edgy.
Call me
Avant-garde.
Fart Man now, Mom. You don't
Man.
get me.
Dude,
Kurt Cobain's doing
have
it.
you seen that Courtney Love documentary?
What?
Where it's like, it basically is saying that she like paid somebody to have Kurt Cobain killed, and like they go and like track down people, and they like supposedly found the guy, and he was like, oh yeah, he's like, I thought she was joking, but like she said like $5,000. And then like it goes through her history, and she like dated like other like pop stars, like other like frontmen, like Billy Corgan from Smashing Pumpkins, and like I don't know, some other guys. And that was like she wrote in her diary like, I'm gonna be famous, like I'm gonna be someone. And they like go back and like talk to her father, and he's like, I don't talk to her, she's fucking nuts. Like it's crazy,
Whoa,
dude. And it's just
man.
like I don't know, it's got some compelling points
Honestly, I
that
can't
she's
get
like
the
a
picture out of my
psycho.
head.
Yeah.
Like I don't know when along the line I came across it, but I came across like the picture of the scene, and I can't get that out of my head, man.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess there's always going to be like some conspiracy around like a weird death, because it's like, wait, what? Like
Yeah.
this dude, like like a Chris Cornell type of thing, where it's like this
Or
dude,
even
like,
like Mac Miller.
yeah, it's like just died, like had everything, and then like why would you kill yourself? And it's like I don't know. Maybe they did kill themselves. Like maybe there is more than like money and fame, and they're deeply unhappy still. But like
Yeah,
I don't know. There's some questions.
for sure.
I'm keeping my ears open for all conspiracy theories.
That's the thing. It's like, okay, you're like, oh no, it's the internet. If anything funky was going on, like it would be on the internet and everyone would hear it and know about it. But it's like, it is. You just call it a conspiracy theory and like just check it off to the side. And there's like obviously some fucking weird ones that people just like want to
I
prey
think there's
on
a
you.
danger in that though. It's like you should question everything. Like you're just gonna blindly like accept the internet as the truth. Like this article came out. It was CNN. It was New York Times, and they're credible. So
Yeah.
that's news. And it's like I don't know. Maybe you should like poke around a little bit. And why would anybody not want you to do that? And why would they like make it look like you're crazy and like
Yeah.
lump it in with like flat Earth and like weird stuff? And it's like. All right, okay, we're going there.
Honestly, man, I was just on an airplane and I was looking out for it.
No curve.
It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing. When you're up there, it's like you look up. I don't know. Like I couldn't see any stars. There's a lot of question behind it. It's a big question mark, and I think that's a great part about it because it makes you like click on these other things that are like linked to it. It's like
I get it. I get the idea of it as far as like literally, I don't know that the earth is round. I couldn't tell you that. Just it's like, oh, the maps could be anything. Like everything
Yeah.
you know has been told to you. So it's like I get that point, and that's like maybe an extreme point of it, but I don't know.
Honestly, I see it as like almost a self-sacrifice. So it's like, okay, like you're a famous person, like a famous basketball player. Let's say Kyrie Irving is like, yeah, I'm a flat earther, and everyone's like, what? Kyrie, I believe in you. I bought your shoes. I bought all your shoes, man. It's like, fine, maybe flat Earth is the thing, and then they go online and research it, and then like everything else that pops up next to it is possibly, I don't know, affecting your life in some way, and like telling you or leading you to the truth of like this greater thing, like leading you to question more, is like to go outward.
Yeah, it's like a very deep
it's a
like
trigger.
conspiracy of like, oh, it's not the government, it's beyond that. It's the whole world is different than you even fucking know, man.
Yeah, it's like throw everything out the window. Everything learned in school, like
scratch
Columbus
that, dog.
didn't exist.
Yeah,
like, that guy got beat out. America is named America after Amerigo Vespucci or something like that. It's like, you never hear that guy's name.
Yeah, dude, there's a bunch of stuff like that. Like what, like Abraham or George Washington's like the third president of the United States or something.
What?
I don't even know. I couldn't even quote it. I couldn't even tell you because I don't know.
It's crazy. It's like, all right, this is just what we'll accept. It's a long. There's a lot of killing, a lot of backstabbing, a lot of witchcraft.
That definitely is an important tool, though, to like keep an accurate history, and I don't think we've been doing that. I think it's a little biased, you know.
I mean, besides the point, it's like everything that was there is here now, if not more than or more now than then. You know, it's like the tools are here.
Oh, it's like history repeats itself. That's cool, though. It's like social studies is like, let's see what happened in Germany when the economy crashed, and how did that happen, and how can we not do that again?
Yeah.
Okay, and then it's like, but it's just like, oh, it's some nerdy stuff. Like, don't worry about it. We're just gonna do the same thing again.
Yeah.
It's like that should be, I don't know.
Weird. Do you think it's studying like society, or like are we the learners, the students, being studied upon our realization of society? You know, like, are we being socially engineered by studying social studies?
It's like a history of like how people react to things, and like they're like, oh no, you can't do that, or they'll start a revolution and they'll fucking kill you. So like we're gonna do it a different way, because like someone's got all those books and like all that shit, and they're like, you can't do this to people because they get mad about that. But if you hold their food in, like you threaten their food supply, then they'll go to war. If you threaten their kids, they'll go to war. Like knowing like how the human brain works, and like someone's got like maybe a more accurate record of that, and like can stack it up and like connect the dots, and like, I don't know, maybe know how humans work a little better than you and I.
Honestly. But I guess what I'm saying is, like, by us like being shown these things, like what happened in history, it's like it's just a perspective of what happened. It's like it's one perspective.
Yeah, it's like a fragment.
It's a very narrow and acute perspective. So it's like, okay, this is what happened. This is the emotion to feel towards this scenario. Like, what do you guys think of this? And it's like, no, it's this. Like, this is what happened. Like, these people did this, and this is what's right, and this is what's wrong. It's like, you don't even let anyone, like, take a different standpoint and be like, okay, let's look at the war from, like, Adolf Hitler's point of view. It's like, he had a country in shambles, and he tried to raise it up.
He almost took over the world, yeah, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I wonder what does a German history book say about World War II? Like,
yeah,
honestly. I wonder, dude.
And, like, I wonder what Mein Kampf really says untranslated. Like, that'd be incredibly interesting.
Yeah, dude, that is a weird thing too. Like when they start translating shit, like
Yeah.
old stuff, like the Bible, or
that.
like what? Yeah, it's like,
not
dude,
the same thing.
Yeah, it could be, and like language doesn't necessarily like line up. Like the syntax is different, and it's like, oh, they just say like things differently, and it's like, just think about the way we talk too. It's like we have like phrases and stuff where it's like that makes no sense if you're taking it literally, but like you know what I'm saying. Like, what's up? Like, oh, just chilling. Like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, I don't know. It's just stuff we say. It's like slang, but
yeah. Like today, this guy came to the tag sale, and he had a dog, and it was like this little Japanese dog, and I was like, oh, that's the famous Japanese dog from, like, I don't know, all these like memes and stuff. He's like, yeah, it's a Shiba Inu. It's like the word Shiba means dog, and Inu means small.
Yeah, so it's like flipped. It's like
It's
small dog,
it's
dog
dog
small.
small. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like how can you necessarily translate a more complex statement when that's how they
Yeah,
state it. It's
it
like
starts off like
it
that. Yep.
starts off with like I don't know what is it person place or thing and then like
Yeah,
an
like a
adjective.
sentence structure is
Yeah.
like different in different
Yeah.
languages. Yeah, and then you get into like Asian languages, and it's like this character means like a whole like paragraph or something, or like it's an idea, or like
Yeah.
I don't know. So I think it's safe to say there's some things have been lost in translation.
Honestly, man, and that's not even saying like taking account all the editing that came to like the original text.
And what's even weirder now is like we don't even keep things in books, and it's like it's online, it's not published. It's like this could be the book, and you go online, and it's like
It's
it's
a
a
wiki
different
page,
thing.
man.
It's like could have
Yeah.
been edited like since you last looked at it.
What is it? The Lord of the Rings series has been edited more than 15 times by a different editor.
Why? They changing it?
Exactly, man. It's like okay, a bunch of different things were like made or changed to make it more fluid, but it's like J.R.R. Tolkien was a genius. That man needed no help.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I think it was like that was the importance of like getting a book published was like it's been reviewed and this is fact and now it's in the library and it's been published this year. Puts the year on it, it's stamped in time. You can never touch it again. It's
Yeah.
information.
But then there's like copyright, so it's like copywritten on this date. Everyone checks the copyright date for like when it was written, but it's like, what? You renew the book's copyright, and then like from there you can maybe try to date it. But I've been noticing, I went on this phase where I was buying up a bunch of like 1800s books just to like to read them and like feel how people were talking, like kind of get in that state of mind to like break myself out of like this weird ass place we live in.
Yeah, let's knock it back a century.
Every single one, the owner of the book writ their name and dated it. That is how you do it, man.
What, to like just sign it for history and
Yeah,
be
it's like, okay, like Lauren L. Chappelle, like 1825. Like, okay, it's like it's copywritten for this date, but like this is when it was picked up by the owner.
oh yeah, I see what you're saying. That's when it was like
It's property. Like
written.
it's a scroll, man.
Yeah.
Like you're looking for like for sacred knowledge and like we're writing it down, but like it's just been washed out with all these like okay, like read a Raisin in the Sun. Like I'm not trying to like knock these books. It's like we just always are fed the same books. There's so many different crazy books out there to read.
Yeah, dude, I just keep getting that feeling that it's like the pieces have been put together, but like we can't look at it. Like, it's like
Yeah.
who is like the holder of the knowledge, right? It's like you put all this stuff together that we've been talking about, and it's like you put it together, and then it's like you see the big picture of like what really is like valuable information to like live your life.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't know. It seems like we're being attacked. Like every angle you go is like someone trying to sell you something. Someone trying to like fucking push that button in your head to be like, oh, you're addicted to something. You're hungry, aren't you?
Yeah.
Like pull over. You're hungry, aren't you? Like
You smell that? That
you want
smells
another
good.
cigarette?
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah, that'll give you cancer, but not for a while.
Yeah.
It's pretty
You
nice.
got time.
And then like then you get into like crazy fucking hardcore drugs that just like fucking literally rewire your brain, and it's like, okay, who's
It's
responsible
like
for
rabies,
that?
man.
Yeah, dude, it's weird, man. Yeah, for real, dude. Just like wrecks your brain. Like, who's responsible for that? Like, someone made a lot of fucking money off Percocet. The same.
So much so that they sing on it.
Yeah, dude. That's okay because it's making a lot of money, and it's like, oh, whoops.
It's like
and
a
then,
commercial.
dude, it's like that same family is now investing in like rehab centers and stuff. So it's like they're just collecting both. I don't know, dude. It's like, yeah, free enterprise and like capitalism and like do whatever you can to make money, but like at a certain point, it's like, whoa, like how
You're
you're
enslaving your
responsible
own brothers
for
and sisters.
you're responsible at some point, dude.
Yeah.
When you get out of like paying for yourself to survive, and it's like, dude, you're raking in millions, and you're like, I'm not paying the high taxes, and it's like, yeah, maybe it's not fair, but like it's not a fucking joke to a lot of people. It's like, dude, like you're just gonna just do nothing, like okay. What the hell?
How the fuck did that happen?
Shit's getting too real. Microphone
Alright.
popped off.
What's going on here? See, like, is that a universal sign to be like, you know what? Calm down, guys.
Yeah, I don't know. The microphone just popped off a thing, and we fixed
Yeah.
it. That's what that sound was. So. I don't know, man. Maybe we're questioning too hard.
All right.
Let's just go back to my day job and forget it. This all happened.
Okay, so we found these guys. They were wearing these black suits. They're out in like a crazy cool car. It was probably a BMW. I don't know. I don't remember. They were passed out. They looked like they got drunk, but they had these crazy little wands in their pockets. They were silver. They popped up. And I thought it was a camera of some sort, maybe like a selfie stick. And I flashed myself. Didn't remember a thing.
Men in Black.
Men in Black. I guess I was trying to get to the point where like, here it is. Like I don't know what it does, and then like yeah, but I went the wrong route. I said I already did it, but then I couldn't remember if I did it. But whatever.
You're wiped clean.
Let's just use this thing, man.
After this.
All right. So the universe has brought this to a close, and that was super fun.
Yeah, we've been rambling. Well, I have to do it again. And
Feels good.
yeah, just to
cut loose.
talk about whatever you want. No judgment here.
Honestly. Well, to whoever listens to this, whenever they listen to this, this was recorded in 2019. I don't know.
Postmarked.
I don't know if that means anything to you in your state of existence, but that's the number we go by.
That's where we're at in the calendar year.
Signing off.
Signing off.
Thanks, Connor. That was
Thank you.
That was sweet. That was
Yeah.
sweet. That was fun.
Covered some turf.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
I wasn't recording.
Really?
I don't know. That would be rough.
We'll see. We'll later practice. Yeah, it is hard to tell like how long we were talking for.